Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode or another YouTube video, actually. And today I have a very special thing going on. I am actually interviewing players who were selected in the minor league draft. These are all going to be youth players for now. I'm going to work to get some national players as well. But I have one today, and his name is Jishnav Kohli. I hope you guys enjoy it. He's really good. I love this interview. It's one of the coolest things I've done in this series. It's going to be one of the coolest things I've ever done. So be ready for more of these. Turn on the post notifications. Subscribe. If you don't want to miss a single one of these episodes, it's the bell icon. That's how you turn on post notifications. Thank you. Thank you so much. And I hope you enjoyed this podcast episode. Hello, everybody. And today I have a very special guest. I have U.S. youth cricketer, a draftee by the New Jersey Stallions, all-rounder, Mr. Jishnav Kohli. Thank you so much for being on the podcast, man.
No problem, bro. No problem at all. How have you been?
I've been pretty good. How about you?
Pretty good, pretty good. Just a little busy, but nothing too special.
All right. Well, let's just get right into it. First question: if you had to introduce yourself to someone, how would you, in like a cricketing sense?
In a cricketing sense, well, I would say I'm a fast bowling all rounder, and I can bat, but it's more so lower middle order. But I'm mainly a fast bowler who can literally bowl, who I would say I can bowl anywhere in the game.
Okay.
You
All
know,
right.
that's
So
that's about it. And I
all right.
swing the ball a little.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay. So I was doing some quick research on you, and the first thing that really popped out is that you've been in three different countries. You've lived in three different countries. So two really established countries, the U.S., not the U.S., but India and Australia in terms of cricket, and then now in the U.S. So how has the experience of playing in India and playing in Australia and then now in the U.S. have how has that affected your cricketing game?
Well, okay, so first of all, I lived in India till I was about 8 years old. So playing cricket there, I never got into cricket. I was never into sports in India.
Okay.
Like India was just nothing really.
Yeah.
And then I moved to Australia when I was about 8 years old. Stayed there, and it was around I would say 11 years of age when I was like walking in the park with my mom, and these like under 12s kids were like playing cricket, and I was like really bored at that time, so I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna join this. And I joined, and there was like 2 or 3 games left in the season, so I played that. And I wasn't like that good at cricket or anything, and I was mainly a batter back then, but I was pretty garbage. And then something happened in the off season. I guess it was a growth spurt, I don't know, but like next season I was bowling like quicker, and I could actually like bat. And then that season, next season, I was like the highest scorer in my whole division in terms of batting. And then over time, I played cricket. It was in the beginning, it was just for fun. And then, things started to progress. And I started becoming more of a bowler and less of a batter. And now, having moved to the US, there's like not as much cricket as Australia, obviously.
Right.
But I guess they're really establishing a pathway for people to come up and play at a high level. So that's good, you know.
Yeah, man, that's a great story. I know there's a ton of weird cricketing stories how people get into the game, and I guess you're no different, which is it's a cool story to kind of tell. How has that like your
Yeah.
growth into the game was pretty accidental. So how have you told that story to people, and how have they reacted once they hear that story?
Well, I guess no one really talks about how you like started playing cricket nowadays, but I don't think many people know that story, but it was like really weird.
Yeah,
And I guess I just like stumbled upon it, and I've just continued playing it since, and it's become my passion over time, which is like great,
there you go.
I guess.
Sometimes we find things when we're not looking.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, cricket is like a blessing, honestly. I've learned so many things from it, and keeps me busy, so it's always good.
So you talked about you were walking in the park with your mom. So when talking about who you give credit to your success to, would your mom be a huge factor of, or your parents be a huge factor of why you're so successful in what you do?
Oh, definitely. They support me in everything. And I guess she's the one who encouraged me to start it because I was like too shy because I used to be a shy kid back then. So I was like, oh no, you should go check it out. So like I started it, in terms of parents, they've been pretty supportive. All obviously, like, got to stay on top of school
Mhm.
as well as play cricket, so that's always good balancing act. But in terms of cricket, this like my I guess how good I'm at cricket and my cricket skill. Like, I will give credit to so many people. But like the first person that ever comes to mind is like my first ever coach, which was in Australia, and it was our team coach. And he used to drive me to games every weekend, so that was like a really big factor. And he like supported me so much. So I'll never forget that.
Yeah.
So that was pretty cool. Cause like my parents, the games used to leave at like 7 in the morning,
Hmm.
and then my parents were like, no, we're not waking up that early. So my coach used to drive me, so that was nice.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So now you're here in the U.S. and you live in Charlotte. So I know there's a big league out there in Charlotte. So how has that kind of helped you out?
I used to live in Charlotte, but like recently, like in the past year, we moved to New Jersey.
Okay.
And like I guess cricketing in Charlotte was, what do you call it? Cricket in Charlotte was not the best. Like New Jersey
Hmm.
is a lot better. Like having moved to New Jersey, there's they've got like cricket academies, like a youth program and everything.
Hmm.
So that's obviously really good. And like in Charlotte, there wasn't really a program, any indoor cricket training centers, nothing. And like I don't use indoor cricket training centers, but in Jersey, there's just so much more cricket. In Charlotte, there was like kind of a lull in my cricket because the closest cricketing youth cricket program was TCL,
Yeah.
and that's like 2.5 hours away, two
Right.
hours away from Charlotte. So in Charlotte, it was like all right, but it's really picked up since I moved to New Jersey in the past year.
So in the past year you've moved to New Jersey and how you said that was a good experience for you?
Yeah, definitely.
Definitely. Okay.
Like
So
I play on a team with
uh
like all these other like youth players, and that like even all of them got drafted, and it's like it's a quality team. It's really nice playing with like young people in a good team, so it's fun.
mhm. So talking about playing with young people, you were picked up to go to the under 19 trials back in 2019. So what was that experience like? What did you learn and like how was it just going to that thing in Fort Lauderdale?
Oh, that Fort Lauderdale thing, I wasn't a big fan of it, only
Hmm.
because I was like injured at that moment with a knee injury, so I wasn't obviously at my best.
Right.
But you had to kind of push through, and I did decent. And ultimately, it came down to the fact that I was not eligible to play for the under 19 team because I haven't lived in the United States for long enough. So I guess that sucked, but with like this minor league thing that they're bringing up in the US, I guess it's a good thing,
Right.
get another shot at it.
Right. So, like you said, the minor league is another pathway. It's another shot for you to get to your ultimate goal of playing for the national team. But, like, what are
Right.
you most excited about for this minor league season in the spring?
Oh, I guess because I've never really had any sort of formal coaching. It's always just been like I've only played in teams, and it's not been like coaching sessions. And I don't practice a lot because I live far away from like places from other people that practice and like places indoor training centers and all that stuff. So I didn't get to practice a lot, and I didn't get a lot of guidance. And with like all these qualified coaches and players who've played at the national level, international level, I guess it will be a good learning experience. So I'm excited about like furthering my game, becoming a better cricketer, a better person, better bowler. So that's what I'm excited about. And playing quality people. Not saying local leagues don't have quality, but like minor leagues just gonna take that step higher. Challenge
Right.
your abilities a little more. So that's pretty exciting.
Yeah, well, for someone who doesn't practice a lot, I would say you're pretty darn good. um, but something that's stopped a
I
lot
don't
of
know about
people.
that.
No, man,
Yeah.
come on now. But
Yeah.
something that's stopped a lot of people from really practicing is COVID-19. So I want to ask you, how has COVID-19 affect your cricketing like schedule and your season, and how have you kind of worked around COVID-19?
Well, for starters, I don't really to practice anymore. So in terms of like cricketing specific practice, it didn't really change anything. But I work out every day in the mornings. First thing in the mornings is always a workout because you got to stay in shape, especially as a fast bowler. Like as a spinner and batsman, you can relatively get by, but like as a fast bowler, you always got to keep your body in shape, strengthen the right areas, because otherwise you're going to put yourself at risk of injury. Because if you think about it, when you're bowling, it's like 10, 15 times your body weight going through your body, and your body's not going to hold up if you
Right.
don't do something about it. So I've been doing fitness, and the cricket season was delayed here, so it started like early July,
Okay.
late July, I would say, early late July. And the first like 2 3 weeks, my parents were like a little scared. So, and I wanted to keep people safe in my family as well.
Hmm.
So I stayed away from the games, and I was like, because it's like 22 people gathering for each game. So I was like, I'm probably gonna skip it.
Right.
But then like I was like, minor leagues coming up and all that stuff. I have to take a risk. I have to like at least get a few games under my belt before there's tryouts or anything.
Hmm.
So then I started playing, and we've played. And then since I got selected for minor league, I'm looking to play more days and just get more experience under my belt.
Okay. So you were talking about the minor league, and this is an unprecedented thing. We've never had a minor league here in the United States. So
Right.
how did they contact you about being drafted? Did you learn when we learned, or did they call you, or what was that process like?
Oh, minor league process was like I was pretty surprised by it because one day, what do you call it? Like a week before, there was like all these like speculations that we weren't at minor league and all that stuff. And then you get an email saying, "Oh, there's minor league tryouts in like 2 days, and you have to be there." And I was like, "Well, okay, 2 days notice, great." So I went in, and we just did. I guess they just saw us bowl and bat, and then I was like, that was not a good day for me. So I went up to the dude and I was like, "Yo, I didn't bowl to like my full potential. I was like run up was messed up and everything." So they were like, "Oh, that's good." And they had like two tryouts, so I got to go again for the second tryout. They were like, "You did good, we think, but we would like to see more of you."
Mhm.
And then I went there and I bowled decent that day, so that was good. And then after that, I guess they played a T20 game. But before that, like a week before you guys found out, I did. I got like a hint that I might get selected in the like under 19 quota of players.
Okay.
So they like shot me an email and were like, "Oh, you're not committing to any other teams, right?" And all that stuff. So I guess I technically found out like a week before it was like announced
Hmm.
because I wasn't like a drafted player. They like pre-selected me
Right.
instead of going into the draft. They selected me under the under 19 category or whatever. So that's how the process was for me. So that was pretty good.
Nice. So you're talking about the tryouts. It wasn't really a great day for you and your bowling, but when your bowling's at your peak, who would you kind of compare yourself to, or who do you model your bowling after?
Oh geez. Okay. I don't know if I can say I model my bowling after someone. Like my bowling style is unique. It's just like my style. But I mean, if you're asking for like idols in terms of fast bowling, I'll probably have to say Lovedale Stain,
Hmm.
Pat Cummins,
Yeah.
Kagisa Rabada.
Okay.
Those are like the three people that come to my mind.
Hmm.
And they're like not the most like famous fast bowlers, but like
Right.
growing up, like Kagisa Rabada especially, I was like, damn, this dude's like 18, he bowls 150.
Yeah.
And I was like inspired by that, I guess, and like fired up. And then Dale Steyn, like just the pace and his
Mhm.
ability to move it both ways and his aggression. Really nice. And Pat Cummins is just like raw pace, quick
Right.
bowler. And then I guess Mitchell Stark as well. His like York is like
Yeah.
amazing. So I don't know. It's like I like cherry pick and like take inspiration from the best qualities of each bowler, I guess.
Hey, that's a great thing to do. Those are some great guys to model your game after. You said you started out
Yeah.
as a batsman, and
Oh
I
yeah.
want to ask you now, like, what is your batting style? You more like a slogger? You're going to come in and just first ball swing away at it, or are you kind of a guy who likes to play a little bit technical and hit maybe the cover drives and the on drives and things like that?
I would say since like back in the day in under 12s, I used to open. So like deep within, I'm a technical batsman.
Mhm.
But honestly, it just depends on the day. If like I'm middling everything, oh damn, well I'm gonna
It's a
slog,
lot.
okay. But I would say most probably I'm more of a defensive, like technical batsman, and I'm trying to get over that, be more aggressive.
Mhm.
But yeah, I guess my batting's just a little like fallen off a bit because for batting you need way more practice than
Right.
bowling. Like bowling, you just need to stay fit, but batting you need like really a lot of practice to
Hmm.
stay in form, I guess. And I can still bat and everything, but I guess the batting's just fallen off. But I would say I'm more of like a technical, hit the drivers, play the ball on the ground type of person.
Okay. Well, you certainly have a lot of time to work on it yourself in the New Jersey Stallion team in the minor league. I want to thank you so much for being here. Here's to wishing you nothing but the best in the minor league, in your future cricketing career, and just in your life in general. I just want to say thank you again.
Yes, that's no problem. That's no problem. It was great being here. It was nice to talk about the stuff. I guess
Appreciate it.
people are curious about all the stuff that's going on in cricket, I guess.